Yeah, it's your boy E3, son of the legendary Godfather, gangster rap, Eric Easy, right? And yeah, you rockin' with NUGL TV. You know, we rich and ruthless, baby. Once again, NUGL TV, rich and ruthless, baby. We choose to keep it real. Really though.
Yes. I want to say we're back again. Nice weekend. Jessica's back at the table.
What's up, guys? Hello, everybody.
Jessica, how you been?
Good. How have you been?
Oh, man, just going through the ups and downs, touring, of course. Back at the table again.
I've seen that. You've been doing a lot.
We've been working. I'm glad we got a day off.
Yes.
We leave on the 1st and go to Arizona. Low Rider show, hip hop shit.
Oh.
Nice. Get busy, go make some money, come back home.
And today we have the pleasure of having Miss Christine Smith.
Christine Smith.
Thank
representing
you.
MadeMan.
Back with you for the second
MadeMan.
time.
Oh, I love it.
What?
Yes. So you are representing MadeMan today.
Yes, MadeMan. I am here to unfuck your face.
Oh, let's go do that. Simplified
Can we draw out a
skincare.
cartoon of that, please?
Right,
know
yeah,
what I
here's
mean?
your face before when you were fucked, sir. Here's the now after. Notice the two ladies.
Post-fuck.
After, you buy MadeMan two ladies at all times. They just flock to you.
Oh, man. Let's get into it.
So what is MadeMan exactly?
So it's a skincare line. So I met Jeremy Gardner, the owner of the same place. I met the lovely Jessica.
Let's give it to Jeremy, man.
Yeah.
Jeremy, bringing the
Canada
beautiful
Talk
ladies into the
101.
place. Yes.
So same thing. Jeremy was one of the many guests, and he's only 29. And I heard him speak, and he was just like, you tell, just really brilliant, so passionate.
Yes.
Didn't care what people thought. I loved the way his stories. Like, he was so humble.
Yes.
He was like, you know what? I did drugs. Like, I was homeless once. Like, just
Wow.
all these stories, like, to inspire people.
Yes.
And he made 25. So he was 25 years old, and he made $300 million in Bitcoin.
Jesus.
Yeah, right. And so he's going
That's like
around.
not even fathomable.
Right, yeah,
$300 million
Right.
at 25 years old.
right? And think about that. Wouldn't that change you? Think of it. You're
Yeah.
25 years old.
Yeah.
You're handed $300 million. You'd be a cocky little, right? You would think.
Wow.
I am suddenly Mick Jagger.
Yeah. You would never know. Just so humble. So just like, so, I'm hearing him talk, and, I'm off in the corner with Joy, and I'm like, wait a minute, there's something really, like, cool about this kid.
Yeah.
And then I'm hearing him talk more, and he's like 3 years in, he put like $1.5 million of his own money in, and he was just so passionate, like, he really, really cares about helping men. So he's doing all these interviews, and he was going around talking about stocks and trying to help people, and I guess he was just getting kind of attacked in social media for his skin, because he's a normal 25-year-old kid traveling, you know?
Right.
And so he went to someone, and he's like, can you just, if I give you a blank check, can you just unfuck my face? Like, here's a check, just help me, right? And then so she created this, it was like a 8-step skincare line, and he's like, come on, like, I'm a 25-year-old kid, I'm lucky to remember to brush my teeth and
Yes,
all these
exactly.
techniques,
8 steps,
right?
yeah,
just
right.
someone help me. And his neighbor at the time was a Harvard-trained dermatologist, 40 years experience, and she just nailed it. So it's literally 2 steps. It's just a face wash, and it's just a cream.
Wow.
And so, I met him, and I'm hearing all this cool stuff, and I'm like, all right, I'd love to, open my doors, show my connections, because he's so passionate.
Yes.
And when you meet someone that really doesn't care about the money, that really just wants to help men, because
Yes.
they don't take care of themselves. And it's like, I think the stats, I don't know exactly, it's almost like 50% of men now get skin cancer, and he's just like, I have money, and this is just, this is just my passion project. And so then I tried it, and then I'm like, okay, hold on. Like, I'm not stupid. I'm onto something,
Oh,
Or
you
he's
look great.
really
So if
onto
you've been using
something.
it, you can see it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's cool because, when I was a past Playboy Playmate, I was friends with, like, a lot of plastic surgeons and dermatologists. And, you go to, just as a girl, everywhere you go, you get gift bags, VIP gift
Yes,
bags. You're gifted
right.
everything under
Yes.
the sun. And his line worked better than anything I've tried.
Wow.
So then I'm like, okay, when everyone's saying this is going to be one of the next billion-dollar companies, it's definitely going to be one
Absolutely.
of the next billion-dollar companies.
Yes.
I jumped right on. Just recently, the last less than 2 months, we were in Cosmoprof, ASD, and it's so wonderful. Play
Wow.
the logo. It's so awesome.
I see unfuck your face.
Literally unfuck your face.
MadeMan.
I love it.
No, and I love it. It's so cool because, like, we're going through, like, in airports, everywhere we go, everyone stops, and they think it means, like stop with the resting bitch face. Or
Right,
just, like,
yeah,
I love it.
right,
It's such a
right.
perfect
A
place.
catcher.
So, Yeah, everywhere we go, people love it. They're like, oh my God, unfuck your face. I love it. It's memorable. And yeah, so now we're just, he's just launching. He's going to be on the runway for Fashion Week.
Wow.
So yeah, he's checking that off his bucket list.
Yes.
So I have a couple of questions about the actual products. So what is the secret sauce ingredients that make it what it is?
So it's so cool. Well, CBD, of course, that's what got me.
There it is.
Anti-inflammation.
I love it.
Yeah.
I know we was there somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's got a lot of different ingredients actually, and it's really interesting because I feel like it kicks out the it just kicks out the stuff in stored in your cells, because I've never so like I just did a peel recently, so my skin's kind of dry and coming off, but I did a peel. I'm like, it's not doing anything, because you can start to see the dead skin come off normally. And I did it a little longer. I'm like, oh, wait, hold on, that burns. Let me take it off. But it's interesting. It really turns over. Like, it really does something to encourage the turnover. I wish I had a kit with me now.
No, that's and I've been doing so much research lately on skincare. Like, it's not even funny. I've been deep diving into this stuff. And I always thought that thinning out the epidermis was a bad thing. And because, it thins your skin. And I always thought thin skin was bad. But apparently skin cell turnover is a good thing, and that's why Retin-A works so well. And it's about thinning the epidermis and keeping the dermis thick. I was like, mind blown when I found that out. I was like, well, shit, scrape this off then.
It makes sense to hydrate, and that's why they say, like, people even get hairier more over time. You don't get hairy, it's just so much skin it has to push through.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. So the face wash and then the face cream, and that's all it is. So morning and night?
Yeah, just 2 steps, and it's cool. We were going around to different trade shows and telling guys to take a picture. So they were trying it. A lot of the trade shows were 3 days, and you can actually see results. So then we tell people just do half your face.
Yeah.
And you can actually see within 1 day results. Like, that's completely unheard of.
Yeah. Yeah, really, it is. It's huge. That's huge.
So we love it. So we're launching to women, actually, because men don't really buy for themselves. And it's funny because, like, okay, so you date. Did you ever buy skincare for someone you're dating?
Yeah.
Right? Okay,
absolutely.
Me too. Like, literally, I was with my ex for 15 years. It was probably like $300 just his skincare. I'm like, you're going to look at him forever. Like, you need to do the eye stuff, and their eyes glaze over, and you hand them that. And it's funny, like, there's one time I kind of watched, and it's like, they don't know what they're doing. They just put everything all over.
Right.
It's too much.
Yeah.
So that's why this one is so perfect. It's literally just face wash it off, moisturizer, somehow get results better than these 9 steps processes.
Yeah, because you'll still hear guys complain about their skin, but not take steps to do anything about it. They'll just go, oh man, I look old now. And that's it. That's the end of it. That's it.
That's true.
But guys need to take care of themselves too. And the inflammation in the skin, especially like post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, where guys get it too. It's like the freckles and the sunspots and everything. It's post-inflammatory, and CBD kicks out the inflammation. So I've actually been mixing together CBD with my sunscreen for a long time now, and I think that it's made a huge difference in my skin. So I'm excited to try.
I think so, because it probably would be float on the skin instead of just all those poisons and stuff like just soaking in.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what about you over there? What is your 10, 12-step skincare routine?
No, actually, my wife, she gets on me because she goes and gets her facials. And she said, you're shaving, you're not taking care of your face. And she's on me. And me being the man, we have a sense of, providing, going. I remember when COVID hit, and she was going to the gym with my kids, my older kids, and they shut the gym down, right? So me being dad, fuck that. Let me move my Cadillac out the garage and went to let go all it and just bought and built a gym.
Nice.
Keep everybody happy. Still continue to work out. And then it was like, okay, then I went and bought bikes over here at the bike shop. I know bikes are damn near $2,000 if you want a good bike now. So I bought her some bikes, and now we're getting back on that. But she's been on me about my skin. I got the razor bumps, been in the military, not knowing how to shave, but mandatory being clean shaven in the military.
But that's what the skin cell turnover is
That's
for.
what I'm saying. I'm loving this right now.
Yeah.
So, and then as I got older and I started seeing blotches, so I started going to Target buying skincare cream.
You did?
You know what kind?
I did.
What
I
brand?
bought, when you said something about retinol, was that?
Retin-A.
Retin-A.
Yeah.
I bought some of that. Is that to tone your skin?
There's some stuff that has retin A in it, but you gotta be careful about stuff.
I know. It was expensive. I thought because it was expensive, it wasn't cheap, right? And then I bought it was some ginger. Is it ginseng or ginger?
Could be either.
It was either, but it was drops. It was an oil.
Okay.
You just drop it, boom. Little burn here and there. But that's what I've been doing. But she said no.
So you have a routine. Like, you know your stuff then.
I'm trying to get it
about
together.
drops.
You know,
you can glow. I thought you just had a natural glow. But you can really tell then.
No. I've been really getting into that. But she said you need to go get a deep facial.
Yeah.
So
every guy should get a deep facial.
You know, hey, it took me a while to go get my feet done. You know what I mean? Hey, fucked up. But I was in Compton. You know what? Fuck it. Hey, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
Yeah, it's not all
Did
about
you go color or just clear?
Just clear. Just clear. Clean it.
Polish
Keep it shot. Yeah. You know, one thing about it being in the music business, a lot of the entertainers, even, you know, the young ladies that's in the business, I know that they take care of their skin, snoop them, and, you know, some of the bigger artists that I be around, I notice, I look down, oh, I got his nails done. Wow, okay. But they were clean and shiny because it's TV.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, a lot of the guys, the rappers now, have like nails that like put mine to shame. There's like a lot of guys, they have some
I
really
mean,
nice
I don't know
looking
where it
nails
come from.
now.
I'm a G. I'm from Compton. I can't even do one pinky, right? I know there's a couple of my homies, you know, pink. Oh wow, it's what he do, you know, what it is.
See, we're lucky. We can do anything. We can show up in like a ballerina tutu on a Tuesday at 10 a.m. It's all right.
That's one thing I always said about women, and you know, we're limited on what we can buy or dress. Women, they get it all, man. They go.
Man, we're going boho chic one day and like fairy goddess the next day. Whatever, it's all good.
Yeah.
I've been meeting at like 10 a.m. is when I'm getting dressed. I'm like, is there any I'm like, I really want to wear this like full body leopard one piece something. I'm like, is there any reason I can't? I'm like, if there's any reason I can't, I wouldn't be going to this meeting. It's cannabis. Let's go. Get it on. And it's full leopard jumper at 10 a.m. Yeah, it's cannabis. That's why we're here. Tutus and leopard jumper.
That's right.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Let me ask you something about MadeMan then. So how long have they actually been around? And then where can we get it?
So I think they just started, or I think about 3 years ago, they launched about a year, and we're just in a couple trade shows. GetMadeMan.com is the best right now, and then we are actually in talks to be on a lot of the big department store shelves too. So it'll be probably about 2 to 3 months out. So GetMadeMan.com is the best right now.
Do you know by chance how much CBD is in the bottles?
So it's the middle ingredient. I don't know exactly, but it's the middle ingredient. So it's at least 50% sexy. No. It is guaranteed to make you sexier, though.
That's perfect. So, okay, there's also something you're doing really cool. I know that Janae was on the show previously, and she was talking about you and her coming together and doing something on OnlyFans.
Yeah, so it's really exciting. The vice president of OnlyFans is going to advertise our podcast on the main page.
Oh, wow.
And we're going to interview like the top OnlyFans models, like the rappers, the celebrities, anyone that we want to come on. And then we're calling it Crowns and Cannabis because we want to honor anyone that we think is wearing a crown, men, women, like a 3-year-old fighting cancer. So we want to have a lot of different things. We want to have different segments where I know they had talked about Califex. Like Califex is going to come on with their doctors and talk about different things that we're doing. We want to have like maybe like a porn star that's never tried weed for the first time. They come get high, and we're actually doing like a whole like seriously like obstacle course too. Where you're the girls like the celebrities, everyone like get high, do potato sack races, do these cheesy games. So it's like we want to have everything. We're probably gonna have like 5 different segments. We want to have one where it's just like, hey, this is how cannabis helps. Like prove CBD works, prove all this great stuff just by showing, no claims, just showing. Hey, guess what? This person was in pain. Now they're not. No claims, just
right.
What it is. Yeah.
You know,
it's testimonials at that point. Yeah,
I'm excited, crazy stuff. And then we want to use every, you know, of course, you know, we had our, you know, the, you know, women in cannabis we use to celebrate other women in cannabis as much as we can. So we want to have like a little area where we have preferably as long as we can, like a women-owned, you know, cannabis line, have a little bar,
absolutely,
like a dab bar, like everything, like a cannabis drink.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Right?
Nothing wrong with that.
There's some really beautiful companies out there that are doing it big. Like there are some people, there's some monsters, and I'm not going to name any names because I hope to have them in the studio soon.
Right.
But there are some fantastic brands coming out that are women-owned and run, and I'm so proud of that.
I'm loving it.
Because I feel like this has been a male-dominated industry for a long time.
I'm loving it. I'm loving to be a part of that.
And I love like women, like we're the real healers. Like back in the day, it used to be a village. We would get together with the herbs. Like we'd be like, hey, what's wrong with you? Here you go. And like our covers were just herbs. It wasn't medicine. So that's what I love, that we can have all these women come on. And there's 151 million paying subscribers. So it's like, it gives me chills every time I think about it. We can have all these smaller companies that don't have the money for marketing or anything, and have them come on our show with some big celebrity and literally change their lives overnight.
Absolutely.
Like we have this, like this just stumbled into our laps. I'm really excited.
That's really part of our mission too. Like I love being able to hand somebody an opportunity to really explain what they have got going on, because I really don't think, well, especially because of course we know the Instagrams and the YouTubes and the, Facebooks and all that. I mean, they will cancel you if you talk to the wrong person. So I love things like OnlyFans, like NUGL magazine, that are putting opportunities out there to you're kind of unfuckwithable. You want to smoke. You want to talk about experiences on other things, talk about your experiences. But it's a no cancellation policy, which I think is really cool to offer.
No, I love that, because it's so amazing that, like, I mean, on Cannabis Talk 101, we'd hear all the time about people that would come on. And, like, we had this great company, Just Eats. It was a mother, a daughter, or Just Us Eats. Sorry, Just Us Eats. Got to give a shout out. They're so good. Yeah, it was, the best desserts I've had. Mother, daughter, grandmother team. Same thing. Come on to Cannabis Talk, and their Instagram shut down.
Yeah.
That's one reason why we created the cannabis, not the cannabis, but the NUGL Live, the NUGL TV. And then we got the website. And then I said, you know what, let's get our magazine so we won't have a constraints on our content.
And we are coming out with some new technology pretty soon too.
Yes, we are.
Which super excited about.
That point, yes. And I like that because it wasn't trying to be bigger than anyone. It's just being right where everyone is at. And it's for the community. Moving ahead, I really respect the women who's jumping into this game. Without you guys, it wouldn't be us. You carried us for 9 months. So there's some elements of life within you. And you guys are natural visionaries, and you're natural care people. You care. If you have a child, the dog, the cat, you care. And one thing about, once you grab your passion, what you did prior to your modeling and everything else, and you got into this, that was the transition. And so I believe you. And I want to thank you a lot for what you're doing in the community of this business, and being a lady, a young lady. A woman, beautiful woman, that's pushing something that we can gravitate to as a man. I believe you. And one thing about my wife, she's always pushing the same thing. Now here's the second phase. Women love men to take care of themselves. And I want to thank you a lot for even having that passion to do it.
Absolutely.
Well, you nailed on the head, is passion. It's like people's passion is contagious, because it's like, I never in a million years, if someone's just like, hey, you want to go sell skincare for rich kid, I'm like, man, I'm cool. I make $1 billion. And, I'm so cool. Then I hear CBD, and it's really, truly his passion to help men. I'm like, okay, I want to be a part of his passion. Now I'm like, CBD and passion. I mean, you nailed it on the head. It's a passion that's contagious. When you find someone that really has a mission, and it's cool because he really has a war on his hands, because it is hard in skincare. Like, there isn't much skincare out there, but it's hard to get men to buy skin. It's smart. We're marketing to women, but I love that he really has a fight on his hands, where everyone's like, you're crazy. You're not going to make any money. You're not going to have the market, da-da-da-da. And he's like, I don't care. I believe this has to be done. And I'm just like, you know what? Anyone like that, anyone that's crazy like me, you got to get behind and celebrate, help them.
And you know what? There's such a stigma too about a guy walking into a Sephora or something and asking for something for himself. Guys get uncomfortable with stuff like that. Maybe not all men, but a lot of guys get really uncomfortable just to go up and ask.
We do.
But if you're walking into the store knowing that you're going in to ask for a men's skincare line specific to them, maybe it would lift the stigma a little bit more.
No, and it's funny too that it's sexy, like the unfuck your face.
Yeah.
And it's like, you got like Tony Hawk on board, you got like boxers.
Yeah.
So it's nice. Like, it makes it sexy. It's like when Carl Jr. was like, real men eat meat. It's like, hey, if you want to get laid, you got to take care of yourself. So.
That is the key.
It is though. Look, if you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you're confident. If you're confident, you're sexy, and girls love that.
I know.
Yeah. He's like, yes, I know that already.
No, I know. I get it a lot. Not because I'm in the business, because I have a wife. Yeah. And she cares.
And how long have you been married?
I've been married to my wife over 23 years.
Ooh.
We gotta get
He's doing something right. He's doing it right. Yep.
I was out there. We just connected with the Daz Dillinger from the Dog Pound, Snoop's cousin. He had just lost
That's how you guys met?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that story.
Has actually how it all happened. Quick story. The record shop in Compton dedicated to Easy, my homeboy. We want Easy, rest in peace. And Snoop's mother came into my store looking for a particular record. Didn't know who she was, just like we just didn't know, just customer. And by me being the owner of the store, I always took pride in the customers. She asked for a certain record with Lady in Red by the Temptations or the Dramatics. I looked it up on a distributor's website. I seen they had one left, and it was way in the back of the warehouse. I called them, told them to pull it. I'm on my way to get it. She paid me $15, no tax, out the door. She said, I'll be back tomorrow to get it. And I went up there that day about 3, brought it back. She came back at 10 o'clock in the morning. Asked when I opened the door, she was waiting just to see if it was there because she'd been looking for this record for about 3 months and going to every record shop, Tower Records, Sam Goody, just going around. Nobody could find it. So she thanked me for finding that record. And then she looked over to the right. I had a DJ booth like that. She said, you DJ? Like, yeah. She said, how much would you charge me to DJ my 50th birthday party? I'm like, oh, shoot, Mom, where's it going to be at? She said, Long Beach. I said, where at Long Beach? She said, at the Radisson Hotel. I was like, okay. I said, you know what, since your 50th birthday party, just give me $100 and give me 25 songs that you want to hear. She said, for real? She said, you pay me right then and there. And she said, I'm going to have my sister to come back with 25 songs. She came back the next day. We had Napster. I downloaded all the songs.
We had Napster.
Burned them on CD and went there and rocked the party. Didn't know she was Snoop Dogg's mother until he walked her down. But me being from the streets and being from Compton and Ruthless Records and it was Death Row, I started seeing the Death Row artists there. I'm like, what is this?
And then he walked in and you just passed out. You're like, what is happening?
I had to step my game up a little more.
Of course.
Lenny Williams was there. Chico DeBarge was there. No, El DeBarge was there. Serenade Snoop's mother. I knew this was something important. So once Snoop gave me a tip, like good looking OG, gave me a tip, and we did a dab. I took a picture with him, all the other wives and girlfriends. Hey, if you DJ for Beverly, I want you to DJ for us and our parties and stuff. So I passed out my business card to everybody. And it was Daz Dillinger, Snoop's cousin from the Dog Pound, who actually, she approached me and said, hey, I'm having a baby in a couple months. I want you to come do my baby shower. Didn't know she was Daz's wife. I'm from Compton. I didn't know where in the fuck Mission Viejo was.
I've gotten chills 82 times just for this story. It's like on so many levels.
I did not know where Mission Viejo was. And she said she came to my record shop in Maybach. She was in the back. Her sister was driving. She said, hey, you Big A? I'm not Arnold at the time. I wasn't Big A. Arnold? I said, yeah. She said, Maria, Dad's wife want to talk to you. Oh, shit. Okay. Hey. She said, can you do my baby shower next week? Sure. She paid me the $100. I said, give me the address. She wrote it down. I said, Mission Viejo, is that past San Diego? She said, no, that's in Orange County. I'm like, oh, I'm there. So I get there and they're in this mansion. I go in the mansion and nobody's there but us and the girls. I'm like, wow. See all the gold plaques and stuff like that. Death Row, this Dad's wife. So what I liked about that, I did the party. Daz came about maybe a couple hours later. Hey, what's up? What's up, homie? Come in the back. Go in the back. They blowing and all the Death Row guys in there shooting dice at Daz's house.
Oh, wow, nice.
Okay, so my little $100 was gone, so I threw my shoot 20. All right, homie, I got to get back to work, man.
Yeah.
Get out of there. And from that day on, she took a liking to my business. I had the record shop. I had me a magazine because in the retail business, you want to make all the money you can. So I made money off the square footage on my walls of advertising space and the magazine. So she wanted to start a magazine. So I pulled her in the car with me, took her to some of the record label parties we had, and she's on the races now. But now this is Daz's wife. Now she got me going to the house every day. He's never there, but he knew I was there. And I'm like, wow, this guy's trusting me around his family. I'm not going to fuck this off, So one thing led to another, and he left Death Row. And I gave him the Easy blueprint from the retail distribution side of it. He believed in what my blueprint was, and off to the races. And we was doing the in-store in Laguna Hills. And I'm in the mall, and Sam Goody in the mall there. And I'm waving people in. So I seen my wife, beautiful lady. Hey, yo, you want to meet Dad? She said, no, what's your name? Oh, what?
Oh.
That got me.
Uh-huh.
What's your name? So I brought her in, exchanged numbers, pagers at the time. And
Oh, I love that you got that page.
We had the
Did you know
pager.
it was going to be your future wife at the time?
No, I'm going to tell you what I did. Went back, got home to the record shop. I told my little brother, man, I just met my wife. He said, yeah, right. You never get married. I said, dog, just met my wife, man. And from that day on, we clicked. And I did another in-store back in Laguna NUGL. And she came with her and her girlfriend. I said, give me 5 minutes. She said, I'm going to go walk through the mall. Mm-hmm. She was gone. Boom! Because it was too big. A lot of girls there, groupies, and she was gone. And I couldn't find her in the mall. And then one day, I went to Japan. 2 days later, I left to go to Japan. We was in Japan for about 30 days. And I came back home. It was a stack of decals. Said, call her. A lot of sticky notes on my desk. So I called her, paged her. She paged back. Let me come see you, please. And from that day on, pow, it was over. Never left her out.
I love that you guys both mutual. I love that you like the sticky notes. Like, that's cute. Like she was calling, like she
they pursued each other.
Like,
yeah.
Wow, that was man.
Did she believe you in Japan? Because that's kind of weird. Like you fall. No, I'm in Japan.
She would call the record shop. I was never there.
Are you really there? Huh?
Yeah, I was never at the record shop.
Japan.
Yeah, you're like Japan. All right.
Took her on a date, and from that date went to go to a movies. And you know how you go. It's all about your teeth. She didn't eat popcorn or chocolate. She just give me some water. And we watched the Poseidon Adventures action film. And I didn't pick her up in the cat like I picked her up in a Datsun. There was a Datsun 626, a bucket. Just to see if she was real.
Nice.
Come from Compton, I'm G'd up. She was fine. She liked the bucket, you know?
Yeah.
She didn't, wasn't bougie. I'm like, oh, she's down to earth. And we clicked from there. And because of the music business, I want her to see the inside of it. Don't think it's what it is, what people think it is. The groupies is not like that. There is groupies, but it wasn't like that. So I started taking her to all the parties, let her meet the celebrities, see what my life was about. Took her to a couple major big shows, and she seen what it was, and she was content about my business and where I was going, where I'm at. And she just was a ride or die.
That's amazing. Isn't it funny the way you meet somebody for the first time, just like you met Jeremy for the first time, and instantaneously it's just like, we're going to have a relationship. We're going to know each other from now on. You're something special. And for whatever reason, you just know the moment you meet them.
Yeah.
Well, see, like, all my best friends have been like that, too. Like, we literally just lays eyes on each other, like, hi, you're hot, so are we. But it's weird, like, certain people, you just click and just instantly, like, all my female best friends have been like that, too, for life. You just, because I'm not saying Jeremy's like a best friend, like, you just,
right.
But it's weird in general when you meet someone, you're like, okay, for some reason, I know I'm supposed to be in your life. I don't know if I'm bringing you something or you're bringing me. But yeah, it's interesting when you meet people and you're like, okay, there's something here. I don't know what it is yet, but yeah, it's interesting. It's fun when you meet people and you figure out what it is.
I did want to go back and ask you a question, if you don't mind. I wanted to ask, so you have quite a background, and we've had some extensive conversations about why you started using cannabis. And by the way, guys, she snorts her cannabis, which I
Is that right?
I'm telling you. Can we do this on the air?
No.
Oh, damn it. But, okay, believe me, she does.
So is it a concentrate? Is it a concentrate?
So yeah, vape pen. Yeah, I inhale it in my nose.
Yeah.
Well, because I was doing stuff with Google doctors. That there's a brain cap that can really help with autism, Alzheimer's, a bunch of different stuff like that. And so for 8 months, I was like literally getting electrocuted playing guinea pig.
But why were you in that position to start doing that?
I originally, so I'm just like a super geek, and my friend called me. He's like, "Hey, would you like to come in and prove that nano CBD crosses the blood-brain barrier on a brain scan?" I'm like,
wow.
Of course I would. Yes. Right? So I go down, and we put the cap on, and it was, because at the time, this was, I don't know how many years ago, but there was a lot of CBD companies that were just garbage. And I wanted to prove that they're garbage because I hate that sick people, because it was a pet peeve of mine, because so many people would come to me for help with themselves or with their pets for CBD. And I would tell people, like, yes, use this brand of CBD for their pet, and I'd buy it for them or get it to them, and the pet would be doing great. And then I'd see the owner, and they're like, oh, well, their pet would really go downhill, and they'd have to put them to sleep. I'm like, well, what happened? I thought the CBD was working. And they're like, yeah, well, what you gave us ran out, and we bought another brand, but they went downhill. heal. And I'm like, oh, well, what brand? And I didn't tell them, of course, the core pet owners.
Right.
And they'd say the brand and it was garbage. I'm like, oh, it made me so mad because I personally would invest time and heart and energy into helping this animal, and the CBD was garbage. So anyways, so I have the cap, and, you know, we're trying all this stuff, and nano CBD does cross the blood-brain barrier, and a bunch of other stuff I probably shouldn't say because get in trouble. And then so when they saw the scan on me, they showed that my entire brain was damaged. Entire brain was damaged. And it showed, and they've never seen someone where it was completely damaged and it didn't heal. And I know when something's wrong with me, like you know, like I was completely healthy, and then within 3 weeks I was dying. Doctors couldn't figure out why until I was bedridden. Tried cannabis, slowly healed myself, you know, and then got into the cannabis path. So,
but when you say sick, I mean, like, you were telling me some details on a past conversation that just blew my mind. Like, you were swollen to the point of, like...
Yeah, I gained 30 pounds of fluid in 3 weeks.
Oh,
like,
wow.
That's insane.
Yeah, and it lasted.
Like, you're not talking about, I was like, you know... I had less energy. I was lethargic. You're talking about serious symptoms.
Yeah, like they thought I was going to have a stroke in their office that day. And then I kept getting medicine. Blood pressure kept getting higher. They couldn't figure out why. And I felt so bad because they were just watching the weight go up. And I'm going in. And then the guy, I could see him tear up because they're just watching me.
Right.
You know,
wow.
And he's like, well, why don't you get on the scale backwards? I'm like, it's okay. It's not the weight that's affecting me. And then he just teared up because, like, we all realized, like, it's that I'm dying. That's like affecting me. It's not what I look like. It's the fact that, like, we don't know why I'm dying. Doctors couldn't figure it out. No one knew. And then, so I finally was just bedridden. It was like right before Christmas. So I gave away literally everything I owned. I'm like, well, shit, at least a lot of people have a good Christmas. And then my not family doctor, but it was funny. He was the play-by-play doctor. So I used to go to him all the time. And then he called. He's like, hey, I haven't seen you for a while. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm dying. He's like, what do you mean you're dying? I'm like, no, like severe pancreatitis, like beginning stages of renal failure. You know, I go through all the symptoms. He's like, well, God, try some cannabis oil, at least for the nausea. I'm like, shit, yeah, like I'm dying. Why am I not smoking weed, right?
Yes.
But then so, like, you know, and then so I go in and, you know, I get the cannabis oil and I started getting better. I'm like, well, hold on, I'm onto something. And then, you know, I read every lab report I could get my hands on since like 1999. And I'm like, okay, like, I'm really onto something. Like, you can really change the world. And like a lot of people don't know about like land races even. So like when the world was first built, there's 5 different strains of cannabis, and everything on that cannabis plant was made to help the diseases in that area. So it's like, and a lot of people don't know this. Like, and we know we actually have the whole endocannabinoid system in us. So it was so fascinating. So I just completely geeked out. I had like 3, because I would always lose. I had a pretty big house, and I'd always lose my phone, and then I'd give up and I'd buy a new one, and then I'd find it. So I had 3 phones. I had like 3 phones, laptops. I'm just researching everything I could get my hands on, and then I'm like, God, how does everyone not know this?
Yeah.
And then so then I was like, well, God, if I live, I'm going at least the next 10 years to just tell everyone in the world, you know, cannabis is here, it's real medicine. And so that got me back into the brain thing. So I'm sitting there, and it's funny, they're like, oh my God, it's so sad, this poor girl. I can see them like back to like, oh, her whole brain is damaged. What do we do? You know, like, and they're like, they come in, they're like, it's okay, so we're gonna pay for everything, but we have some news, your whole brain is damaged. I'm like, wait, okay, hold on, this is cool. Because I'm like, this is for a reason. I'm excited. And they're like,
at least you're figuring something out.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because I knew something good would come of it. Because they're like, okay, so we've never seen someone with an entirely damaged brain that didn't heal. I'm like, this is going to be for a reason, right? So they told me that this machine that they have literally will reverse brain damage now. So my brain was entirely, whole thing damaged. They've never seen a brain that damaged outside of a brain scale, and it was from 3 equal blows to my head before I was 5.
Wow.
And so think about that. The doctor said, I've never seen a brain this damaged outside of a brain cell. Or I'm sorry, outside of a gel cell. Because when your brain is that damaged, they're saying it's like you're driving a car with no brakes. It's not your fault. When you lose your temper, it's like if the brakes go out of my car and I'm driving, I accidentally hit you, I didn't mean to, the brakes are out. I couldn't control it. And there's no difference in that. And that's why I was just like, oh my God, well, if this machine can fix people, like, let's just go all in. I don't care. Make me a guinea pig. Let's help people.
Let's go.
The only reason I'm outside of a jail cell then is because I look like this. Like, literally, he said that so there's a rating system. So basically, you should have a 0. It's called a Z factor. Your score should be a 0. That means you have no damage. I was like between an 8 and a 9.
Oh, wow.
Those are the people standing on the street corner yelling at themselves that get out, and then they get put back in, and they're in psych, and they get thrown back out.
Right.
Yeah.
That was the equivalent of me, and no one ever knew.
Wow.
So that's why I was just like, literally, let's just go all out, like, do whatever you can, because they said they said at some point your brain will like tell you before it explode or something. So we couldn't technically do too much, but yeah, so 8 months, I literally was just like, just anything you guys can think of to experiment with me, like, let's just go. Because I saw a girl that had autism, and I would come in and she was just like this, like normal, and she got better and better, and she went through this whole thing, and she turned into like a normal girl just because of this machine. So it's like, wow, this is out there. This information has to get out there. Like, think about all these boxers and fighters
Absolutely.
that are damaged. So if mine, and I have this sack, it's like this thick. Like, when I say damage, I mean, they're literally like, how the hell are you out of jail? Like, it's like damage. So if they could fix me with this machine, like, I want to get this out there for like all the fighters, like everyone out there. And then the doctors going around opening offices now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. So where were they located? Where were all these tests done?
So it's so funny. I don't remember. Like, I would go at midnight. To like some weird location, and like he would just see me like after work. Cause he did a lot of like other like crazy stuff. So we would meet for like 8 months, and then just do all these like crazy trials.
So you went through 8 months of it?
8 months, yeah. And then they paid $40K out of pocket for the stem cells. With CBD, like this whole concoction.
Wow.
Oh, stem cells. I just had stem cell injections in my knees.
Oh, how did it?
It's getting a lot better than it was, I'll tell you that much. But I've never heard of stem cell with CBD. That's really interesting.
It's interesting. It's like a whole IV. Yeah, like CBD, like a whole like crazy concoction.
Really? So where did they actually inject it?
So it was like an IV. It was like an actual bag, like a whole like IV bag after. Yeah, so we did like 8 months of crazy stuff, and then I guess to make sure my brain didn't explode, did a nice little IV of.
I'll take an IV of PRP all day.
The coolest thing too, though, like people try and say CBD doesn't work. Like as we talked about, I inhale the weed, so I did inhale the Califex sleep pen, and it showed that my brain naturally got tired, and that's half of why I wanted to mess with stuff, because people try and say that weed just makes you high or just makes you tired, but it showed that it actually made my brain get tired, because I have severe insomnia, and that was one of the things that I really needed weed for. Like, I can't sleep. I've gone days as a kid, days without sleeping, and it showed that the sleep pen actually caused my brain to naturally get tired. Didn't drug me, didn't sedate me, naturally caused a brain that doesn't make any sleep waves. It says I don't make any waves to sleep to get tired.
So do you have narcolepsy?
They decided my brain doesn't make any ways to sleep.
Huh.
So, like, I literally just have to knock myself unconscious. Don't dream, ever.
You don't dream?
I never dream, yeah.
You don't remember you dreaming?
No, it's weird. I don't think I actually dream. Because I used to have, like, night terrors, like, horrible night terrors.
I used to have night terrors.
Like, no dreams. Never dream.
Yeah,
wow.
I had night terrors
That
before.
blows my mind. So you go to sleep, and you...
Nothing.
And
I think I go to bars, and then I come back in my body, basically.
There's not.
I never dream.
Wow, that blows my mind. I dream every single night of my life.
That's so weird. Yeah,
I'm like, shut up.
Yeah.
What's your craziest dream you've had? Do you fly? What do you do?
Oh, God. I'm not even talking about... I'll talk about recent, because my crazies are crazy. Like, for instance, last night, this is not normal for me. Normally, I have, like... Technicolor, like the characters have character plots, and like there's it's like
so
a
your
whole
brain
movie.
is like...
You're deep.
Every single
Jessica,
most of my dreams are like movie plots. Last night, for some reason, Trader Joe's had a ballroom. And I decided that I needed to work overnight on an event that I was going to have in this ballroom in Trader Joe's. And I didn't have enough time to go back home, and so I opened this giant suitcase, and I was sleeping on the suitcase, and then I slept right through when I was supposed to start the event, and then everybody thought that I was homeless.
How funny is that you like sleeping in your dreams?
That's crazy.
You
wake up and everybody's in there looking at you like, hey.
Yeah, everybody thought that I was homeless, and then my girlfriend walked in, who was supposed to host the whole event and be a co-host on the entire event, and something had happened, and she'd gained like 100 pounds, and so she walks in, and I was expecting her to be this bombshell, and she was, she's probably 250 or something, and she's, a whole 5'2" or something like that. So when she walked in, I was like, "What happened? You didn't tell me this happened." I don't know. It was weird. And that's just not a normal type of dream for me. But that's the recent one.
Yeah.
That was last night.
Yeah. Great.
All right, girls. So
MadeMan.
I need to ask you. Lastly, I need to ask you one more time about the new podcast that you're doing. When is it going to be called? What is it going to be called? When is it going to air? What is this whole thing going down?
Yeah, so Crowns and Cannabis, I will be on the front page of OnlyFans, and we just stumbled into this, I think it's about 2 weeks now. So we did go and film at the Amare party. Shout out to George, thank you. Yeah, God, we have like some insane people like on board. We've got a lot of really big people coming in. We're just in the works. So I guess on my Instagram, Christine's Fire, when we have more info, we'll come out with that. Crowns and Cannabis, we're going to have anyone that we think deserves to wear a crown of any form on, a bunch of celebrities, a lot of Playboy Playmates. I guess they want to do a segment called Are You Smarter Than a Playboy Playmate? And I know these women, I know I'm a Playboy Playmate.
A lot of them are so smart,
and I'm definitely not. Like, these
a
women,
lot of them are.
God, like I've tried to hang out.
Yes,
like,
you are.
They don't even know I live here, actually. I'm still in hiding. This is how bossy these women are, right? Because I've been so busy. Like, I'm trying to do companies, I'm trying to do stuff. And like, I called one of my friends, were like, Cora, what do you mean you've lived here for 4 years? Like, we meet all the time. I'm like, I know I'm in hiding. I'm like, I can't hang out with you yet. Like, I'm not even, they're like, no, like, we watch you on Instagram. And I'm like, no, I'm like not even cool enough. Like, I'm not even a establishment. I'm not hanging out with you ladies. I'm trying to get there. Like, they're starting like these huge companies for like women. They're like, have all these huge platforms for like how to like, I don't know, like grow rich. I'm just like, how do they even sleep? I'm just over here like snorting weed.
I did an IGTV live with Nicole Anderson, and she blew me away. She's so smart, and she's been studying formulating, and she's been coming out with her own line. There's so many women-owned cannabis companies out there that are starting right now that I'm so proud of. And a lot of them are by really hot girls. I'm really excited about that. I think it's really cool.
Reach out, Crowns of Cannabis, front page of OnlyFans, Christine's Fire. Come on. Oh, yeah, like we're going to have a kitchen. We're going to have a lot of crazy stuff, actually.
Nice. And I know you guys are going to have Chef Matt in there pretty soon, too.
Chef Matt, yes. We're hoping to have Chef Matt be the first guest. There's a huge kitchen. So, yeah, I want to get seriously loaded up on THC food.
I want to be there when you do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, we want to have you
Make
guys
sure we get an
first,
invite.
too, because this is going to be like a family reunion, because we're really using this show to thank and promote everyone that we've met that we love, and to find new people that we want to have come on. So please, like, anyone you have, like women-owned companies, reach out. I know there's like it's just so crazy. This is how busy I am. So I love my champagne. It's funny, I actually quit drinking recently because I'm so damn busy. But someone actually reached out to me to be the face of like a cannabis champagne.
Okay.
I'm like,
shut up.
Yes.
They've been trying to do that for years.
What?
But so if you guys are like, like those people reach out because we want
So how
sponsors.
do we reach out to you?
Yeah, probably just right now, Christine's Fire. And then we do have the Instagram Crowns in Cannabis. We just need to start adding to that.
Okay, great.
So we can get a hold of you through Crowns and Cannabis, through MadeMan, through Kelly FX, through what else?
My front doorstep if you have weed.
Perfect.
I think that's about it. So thank you so much for having me. And I'm excited to have you guys on. Crowns and Cannabis coming soon.
Thank you, guys.
MadeMan.
Thank you, Christine.
If I can do it right.
Shout out to Jeremy. What's up?
Your face.
Jeremy,
You dig?
have fun and you're traveling tonight.
Wow. Great.
Thank you, Christine, so much for being here. It was a pleasure.
Yay, thank you guys.
Yay.
Honestly, thank you again for another successful business platform and coming here and spreading the word with NUGL TV and the NUGL team. Thank you so kindly.
Cannabis community.
That wraps it. Good job. Thank you.
Thank you.